Hey everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger with you. Another episode of The Daily Ticket. It's for Thursday, September 14th, 2023. And before we get going, I got to tell you, thank you. Thank you for all the birthday comments. Yesterday, I turned 48. I was feeling old, down in the dumps. And y'all were nice enough to say happy birthday. So I do appreciate and thank you for that. You know, your birthday is kind of a weird thing, right? Because you get so much attention. People I haven't talked to, text me, called me, so much attention. My wife and my kid, my family. Then I wake up today, all that attention's gone. I'm like, where'd everybody go? Maybe I got to call them now. So now the reality of being old, 2 years away from 50, is setting in. But I don't think I'm slowing down. I don't. Yesterday, I ran a 5K. I try to run a 5K 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, 3.1 miles for all you cross-country fans out there. And yesterday, I ran my fastest time in 2 years. So I might be getting older, but damn it, I'm not slowing down. I'm totally lying. I couldn't lie to you. I respect you too much. It was the hardest, most miserable, most awful experience of my life. In fact, I think I'm going to quit running. In fact, I think I just did. So yes, I feel every second of 48 years old. What are you going to do? But thank you. Thank you for saying happy birthday. It meant a lot to me on my birthday yesterday. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Because today I think I have a mountain to climb. I got some work to do. I'm going to make a statement, and I wonder if you're going to buy it. And initially, you're going to laugh at me, but I have proof. I feel like I'm a defense attorney. I have evidence. I will label it for you. I will present it to you. And I think by the end of this pod, you will say, Rieger, you're absolutely right. It's the case of, are the Detroit Lions different? I know you hear that, you immediately say, are you stupid? What's the matter with you, you moron? One game in, they beat the Chiefs. No Travis Kelce, no Chris Jones. You think they're different because they won one game? No, that's not my reasoning at all, actually. And by the way, I don't know if you're saying that to me. That's just what I picture you saying to me in my head when I say the Lions are different. But they are different, people. They are different. We're a couple days away from game 2 of the season. Seattle and Detroit, Ford Field, downtown Detroit. Detroit's riding high. They've had 10 days to read the press clippings after a monumental team-defining win. Seahawks, however, they lost in embarrassing fashion to the Rams. Matthew Stafford is missing every receiver. He's got a bunch of high school receivers that Kelly, his wife, talks about on their podcast or her podcast the morning after, it seems like. You caught that whole ordeal, didn't you? It was an embarrassing loss for Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. So I do believe the up-down theory. Do you know what that is? You play like crap one week, the next week you play great. I do believe the Seahawks are going to offer a very tough test to the Lions. And I do wonder if the Lions are going to be able to forget about the greatness that they proved 10 days ago and go out and kick the Seahawks' butt. Now, let's be honest. They got some unfinished business for Seattle. They played them last year. They lost to them last year. They didn't make them punt, not once. That's embarrassing. So I would assume the Lions are going to remember that. In fact, Dan Campbell talked about that the other day. They got some unsettled business. So yes, I think it's going to be an interesting game. But it has nothing to do with my reasons of why the Detroit Lions are different. Let me tell you why they're different. It starts with CJ Gardner-Johnson. Did you happen to catch his comments the other day? If you did, don't worry about it because I'm going to play you the audio. CJ Gardner-Johnson is awesome. Played a great game on Thursday, had 6 tackles. He's on a 1-year contract, and he wants to instill a culture in Detroit. He wants to instill an identity in Detroit. And he's taken it upon himself. If you know anything about CJGJ, he wears the blue ski mask. And he wants everybody to wear the blue ski mask Sunday when the Lions take on the Seahawks. He wants there to just be a sea of Honolulu blue in Ford Field. And I love the idea because you have to understand every time anybody has ever asked Lions fans to do something, it's been for negative reasons, never for a positive reason. Remember the Millen Man March? Hey, show up to Ford Field and march because you want Millen fired. He eventually got fired. I remember 2005. Lions are playing the Bengals, third to last game of the season, but it was the home finale, Ford Field. A bunch of fans showed up in Bengals colors, the bright orange. They were wearing Bengals stuff. Why? Because it was somebody's bright idea to embarrass the Lions because they can't ever win. That maybe if everybody shows up in the opposing team's colors, then things will change. It didn't work, by the way. Lions got smoked in that game, and they did not change. Now they're different. They weren't back then. I remember talking to Dre Bly. Remember him after the game? I asked him, what'd you think about all those fans wearing the Cincinnati Bengals stuff? He's like, it's embarrassing to the fans. I'm like, no, Dre, I think you got this wrong. It's embarrassing to you guys. They're the fans. You guys are the players. Try winning. I didn't say it quite like that, but he didn't like the comment at all. He was a little pissed. But the bottom line was, somebody said wear Bengals colors. Lions fans did, but it was for a negative reason. What about the paper bags? The paper bags that fans were wearing as recently as like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I had a paper bag, said SOL on it, cut out the eyes. People wore paper bags. Negative. But CJ Gardner-Johnson, he wants you to wear blue ski masks for a positive reason, to support the new Detroit Lions. Let me play the cup for you. Wojo, my radio partner, also works for the Detroit News, and Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2. They were talking to CJ Gardner-Johnson. Take a listen to this comment. I love every second of it.
When I seen the crowd, we got probably the most ruthless fans in the game. So I think from talking crap, they feed off us. They yelled the loudest, and that was a home game for KC. They just love their Lions team. So I think the more we win, the more we're going to see true Lions fans. So, yeah.
You haven't played in Ford Field
in
a regular season game with the crowd. You'll experience a little in the preseason. They got a little out there. Yeah. Nothing like Sunday.
You're going to see them Sunday. Blue ski mask everywhere.
Okay, what is the ski mask?
What is the ski mask?
You'll figure it out. Because it's going over here. It's ski mask.
I started figuring it out.
What Cobra said. We villains, right?
Yeah. So the fans should wear ski masks?
Yeah. Part of us. It's the culture. I'm changing it.
Blue ski masks.
Yeah, you can get you one. You want one? I
Yeah.
got one in my
No
back.
more paper bags. Ski masks?
No paper bag.
So there you go. No paper bags, the blue ski mask. So why am I wearing orange? No, I'm not one of those Lions fans that went to the Lions-Bengals game back in 2005. Looks like their colors. The reason I'm wearing orange is because you can't get a blue ski mask. CJ Gardner-Johnson said that. Fans flock to Amazon. They're all now sold out. I got this at Dunham's. The tag's still on it, $7.99. I'm going to return it when this podcast is over because I want a blue one. But think about that. CJ Gardner-Johnson said, go wear blue ski masks. They're sold out. Now, they're not really sold out. You can get them on Amazon. It's just going to take a lot longer for them to get to your house. But I think Sunday's going to be awesome. And I love this idea. I mean, Raider fans wear their spikes on their shoulder pads. Cleveland's got the dog pound. Green Bay's got the Lambeau Leap. Denver's got the Mile High Salute. These are kind of Denver colors, too. I love the idea of the blue ski mask. A sea of blue, kind of like Penn State's whiteout. That looks really cool. Michigan has had maize outs. Michigan State has green outs. I love the idea. And I love that the Lions finally have an identity. Is this making you uncomfortable? It's really hot, by the way. It's going to be a sacrifice for these fans. If they were at the whole game, I mean, this is hot. But I love the identity. Villains. The Lions are villains. I got to take this off. Sorry. Remember Brad Holmes at the Combine wore the t-shirt, said villains on it? Now the Lions are following suit. It's a great identity because for the longest time, the identity of the Lions has been losers, a bunch of losers. And they lose in the most inconceivable ways, too. Now they're villains. Bad Boys were villains. They won back-to-back titles. Rasheed Wallace was a villain on the '04 Pistons. They won a title. I like the identity. I like trying to change the culture. I like asking fans to do something for a positive reason instead of to get somebody fired or to sell the team. Reason number one, the Lions are different. But I know you're not sold just yet. It's only one reason. I'll give you reason number two. Happen to catch this news? The Lions got the top Fox crew. Usually when you watch a Lions game, it's like the fifth crew from each network. You're watching, you say to yourself, who the hell are these guys? They're usually not very good. You have no idea who they are. And you say to yourself, nobody cares about this game. Obviously, that's why they gave us them. You're going to have Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, Aaron Andrews. That is the number one crew for Fox. That is different. You tell me the last time during a regular season game, the Lions got the number one crew. Now, for the national games, Thanksgiving, you get Nance, you get Romo. Oh, wait a minute, Jim. Wait a minute, Jim. Wait a minute, Jim. That's my Romo, by the way. I need to do work on it. But yeah, for the Turkey Day game, you get those guys, right? Last year's Sunday Night Football, last game of the season at Lambeau, the only reason it went national was because it was play to get in game for the postseason. But yeah, it was a national game. They didn't get a single national game last year talking about the Lions. They got lucky to get that one at the end of the season. Now they have a tremendous amount of national games. They got 2 Thursday night games in the month of September alone. Different, people. Different. Things are different. But you might not buy it yet. I got another reason. How about reason number 3? Have you seen how much it costs to get into Ford Field? This is different. I looked it up. Just to go to the game on Sunday, it's going to cost you a lot of money, so I hope you bring a lot of money. If you want to get into Ford Field, it's $149. Doesn't even get you a seat. It's standing room only. So I wondered last year, standing room only, home opener, how much was it against the Eagles? $74. So they doubled the prices. Now, I know fans shouldn't be happy about paying more money for tickets, but it also comes with the cost that you got a good football team, so it's worth it, right? So while you might be upset, you should also acknowledge that things are now different. The theme here that the Lions feel they can charge their fans a lot more money because you're going to pay for it. Game's sold out. First time in Ford Field history that season tickets sold out. But I'm an old man. Maybe you're an old man like me. Maybe you're an old woman, 48 years old. That's my age. Maybe you don't want to sit, or maybe you want to sit. Maybe you want a seat. So I looked it up. To get the worst seats in the house, end zone, 3 rows from the very back row, $222 plus fees. Different. It's a lot of money. Maybe you have a lot of money. Maybe you want to sit 50-yard line, best seats in the house. 3rd row, $1,100 plus fees. How about upper tank, 50-yard line, $368 plus fees? That's expensive because they're different and they're worth it. In fact, I found this stat. I'm going to give it to you. It comes from the fine people at Ticket Smarter. It says the Lions have had a major spike in the average cost of resale tickets. The average real market value last season was $147. This year, it's $302. The average ticket price for Sunday is over $300. Wow. That's crazy. It's different. They're charging a lot because they know you're going to spend it because the team's good. And speaking of good, how about one more reason? Have you happened to check out any of the power rankings recently? Now, I know you as a Lions fan probably don't look at power rankings because usually over the course of your life, if you look, it always disappoints you. Lions are always somewhere between like 20 and 30. Good year, 21. Bad year, 29 or 30. Nobody ever picked them to win anything. They've always been a joke of the NFL. Why do you look this year, though? It's different. ESPN.com has the Lions in their power rankings 7. Now, I don't like these power rankings because they got the Chiefs at 3. Lions went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs, so at least for a week, I kind of feel the Lions should be ranked higher than the Chiefs. But still, 7. I look for a second opinion because everybody does a power ranking. What about NFL.com? Got them at 6, still behind the Chiefs, but 6. I looked at about 15 power rankings. I could not find the Detroit Lions ranked any lower than 8th. How different and crazy is that? It's wild. And again, different. So let's recap, shall we? CJ Gardner-Johnson asking all the fans to wear the blue ski masks. They're sold out. I was able to get the orange. Nobody wants the orange. I got to return it. Sold out. That's different. Finally asking Lions fans to do something for a positive reason. Different. We talked about the number one crew that Fox is giving you. Different. Never happened before. We talked about ticket prices being obscenely expensive. Different. Lions finally ranked high in the power rankings. Different. So, have I convinced you? If I was the defense attorney, does my client go free? I think I did convince you. Because how can you not believe they're different or not different? Now, does it mean they're going to win a Super Bowl or win a playoff game or win the NFC North? No, it doesn't mean any of that. And maybe if they're a dud again, you got to reassess. And I will come back to you and say in a future episode of the Daily Ticket, I was wrong. And you can laugh at me. But right now, the Detroit Lions seem so different. And it's so good to see. So comment section below. What do you think? Is this team different in every facet? On the field, in the front office, at the stadium, ticket prices, on TV. They're different. And it feels good, doesn't it? It feels very good. Let's get to the comments, shall we? In case you're new to this podcast, welcome. And by the way, thank you as always for rating and reviewing and subscribing anywhere you get your podcast. If you watch on YouTube too, I read 2 comments. Of all the comments I get, I read a positive one, which is usually a question, and I read a negative one, which is usually ripping the crap out of me. So let's get to the comment section, shall we? Positive comment, a question again. I like this one. Hey, Jeff, who do you believe in the rumors about Mike Babcock, the Columbus Blue Jackets' new head coach? Do you believe Babcock or do you believe the Spittin' Chicklets podcast? In case you missed it, I should put this back on because Babcock should wear this. If I was Babcock, he can borrow this because he's been a joke. Embarrassing. I would want to hide my face. Although he has gorgeous hair, so he probably doesn't want to put this over his head. But in case you missed it, the Spittin' Chicklets podcast, I got to take it off again, was told by a player that Mike Babcock is bringing in his new players. He's demanding to see their cell phones. He's looking at their camera rolls where they have intimate pictures of their families and friends and things they like to do. So the Spittin' Chicklets reported this. And they said, oh, Mike's back to his old tricks, ripping on him. Babcock and the Blue Jackets and some players put out a statement saying it's not true. It's a way for Mike to learn to know you. Mike is showing them pictures of his family. They're showing Mike pictures of their family. It's a nice bonding experience. So who do I believe? I believe the podcast. Because unlike the Lions, I don't think Mike Babcock is different. He just came back to coaching because the Toronto Blue Jackets, Maple Leafs, were paying him for the last 3 years after he got fired. Do you remember the Mitch Marner story? Mitch goes into his office. Mike says, hey, Mitch, I want you to rank your teammates' strengths and weaknesses. It's confidential. Don't worry about it. They'll never find out. Then they all found out how Mitch Marner felt about them. He eventually got fired. Mike Babcock won a cup in Detroit. We should all be eternally grateful. But until he proves he's different, I'm not going to believe him. This is the same bully behavior, it sounds like. And listen, I don't have the facts, all the facts. It's just my opinion. They asked me who I believe. Do I believe Biz and the podcast? That dude works for TNT, used to be a player. He's got connections. Or do I believe Babcock? I'm going to believe Biz. But comment section below. Tell me who you believe. All right, here is the bad comment. It says, Rieger, please fix the camera angle. Hate seeing up your nose and your face is so damn close to us. Please, I beg you of this. I like the content, though. Oh, thank you. Here, let me take this off. I think I did. So I had a meeting about this today, believe it or not. I was told that my eyes need to stare at the camera. So maybe right there. I think it's better. Although when you put a banner up, like I'll put this one up, it covers my chin, kind of my mouth. So we're a work in progress. We're going to get better. I'll keep at it, people. I won't let you down. Eventually, I'll get the camera angle Scorsese-esque, okay? All right. All right. Comment section below if you'd be so kind. Are the Lions different? The answer is 100% yes. And then also, please, if you haven't yet, please download the Daily Ticket, rate and review. I'm eternally grateful. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. It was very nice of y'all. We'll catch you tomorrow. I'm going to have reasons why the Seahawks could upset the Lions. I'll have reasons why the Lions take it to Seattle. We'll do that tomorrow. Guys, have a great day. I appreciate it. The Daily Ticket. Bye-bye.